Hello again. Good morning in Europe. Good evening in United States. This is Ahura with another daily outlook video. As you know, in this series of videos, we are looking at the market, just reviewing the most important data and news that happen in the market and checking their reaction in the stock market, currencies, and cryptos. Yesterday we talked. We talked yesterday about the low risk in the market. About that, we talked about that the market is understanding that the coronavirus, this Omicron virus variant of coronavirus, is less dangerous, and even it's welcome to the market. It's because it's welcomed by many scientists because they say that this variant of coronavirus will make you more stronger against the other variants, so that will make the bodies more strong against the other variants. Therefore, even infections will be even will have. I mean, if you got this virus, even if it will be even better, especially if you have your vaccines, like at least two dose of your vaccine. So therefore, it's not something bad. It's not even dangerous. We can say that even if it's good to get it and make your immune system much better against the coronavirus stuff. Anyway, this news, when especially when it's mixed with the updates from the central disease, made that US, the central disease. Oops, sorry. Well, is my chart. Here is the chart. The central disease decided to make this quarantine days decrease this quarantine days from 10 days to 5 days. What is the effect of that? The effect means that the many pilots, let's say what have one of the most important biggest news in the last days were that they're canceling the flights, right? So this update means that the many of pilots and the flight crews, that they couldn't go back their work. They can go back their work now because this quarantine is decreased by from 10 to 5 days. On the other hand, we had many shops closed, especially the Apple shops in the New York. So these shops also, again, they can start working. So the reaction, this activity again back to the market. So this canceled flies, they can fly now again, and the shops they are opening. Therefore, therefore, this is the result. We can see here in the market, the market risk is fell down under 20 again, and the reaction SP 500 printed the new record high yesterday. If you remember yesterday morning when we were talking, when we were talking yesterday morning, I told about 4,800. I told that we are going all the way to 4,800, and this is what we are waiting to see. That's what happened yesterday, and 4,800 was the level that we touched. Uh, this 4,800 level in the SP 500, which was the new record high, uh, happened almost in what it was in a line with another record since just a little bit less than all-time high in the Nasdaq. It was since November 22nd, November 23rd, the highest level since November 22nd. But still, it's also that's not so far from the all-time high, 16,670, something like that, which was seen in the Nasdaq. And then in the Dow Jones also, we had almost the same situation with the Nasdaq. The record that we had, yeah, it was not the all-time high, but it was not so far from all-time high at 36,530. Totally, the market reaction is fine, especially to this news, to this update from the central disease. That makes that this. It means that market is getting more positive about the virus, about its effect in the market and stuff like that. Therefore, with these updates, we can we can say that many closes, closed jobs, many closed businesses, they are reopening, and they can see that we can say that the market will be more active. Also, we know usually that we know this also that usually in a market in the last days we have in the last 5 days in the market, and first, second, last 5 days of year, and first and second day of the next year. Last 5 days of year and first 2 days of next year, the new year. Usually we have the Santa Claus rally, Santa rally we call it, and it's also something usual. We see that these last days and the first days of the year, see that the stock markets are getting more active. They're getting they're increasing, and the bulls will be seen in the market. This is something that usually we saw in the last days, and these this last years and this year also we can see it. This is one side. And other side, yesterday we had US data. The inflation numbers are always are important. However, the inflation numbers in producers' inflation numbers and housing inflation numbers are much more important for investors, because these are the inflation numbers, that these are the areas that if you have the inflation there, it means that you will have this inflation for a little bit longer time. When the producer inflation increasing, it means that the product, the consumer inflation also will be increased after in next few months, because this producer inflation will come to the consumers, and consumer inflation will get it after like a little bit late, and it will stay in the market. Therefore, when you produce something a little bit much more expensive, it will stay there, and the consumer should pay for that. Same thing in a housing market inflation, especially the rent and house price. These are the numbers that you are paying the price, especially the rent price. You are paying the rent price for a year, and during the next year, this this rent price will stay there. Therefore, usually the inflation that we have in a housing market, we have in a producer inflation, they are the important. They affect the market. Yesterday we had U.S. housing data, U.S. housing price, U.S. house price, and housing inflation. That number says that even if in October we had a little bit higher prices than previous months, but still, it is less than a year ago. The higher inflation, this is like 17 point. Let me check the number again. House price increased by, where the hell is that? Yeah, it's here. House price increased by 17.4% in October this year, compared with 17.7% in October last year. It means that in previous months, it means that we are the housing price, the speed of increasing housing price is slowing. So the housing price is getting a little bit more quiet right now in these days. Which means that the inflation worries should be a little bit less. This less inflation worries, this less inflation concerns, plus the update from Central Z's made the stock market to print new records high or go to the so close to their new records at the same time. And that great inflation, that these great economic data, as yesterday we talked, they help the US dollar to have more demand and more increase, because US dollar is getting stronger based on US great economic data that we have. So therefore, the US index still again above 96 and trading in a positive mood, in a positive area, which is expecting to stay at the same mood, at the same trend. Like it has the demand. You know what I mean. Just in the gold, yesterday also, when we were talking about the gold market yesterday, it was somewhere around $1,810 morning, somewhere around here. And I told that the price of gold will stay between 1,800 plus minus $20, because at, at the same time that we have, like stock market is increasing, so we don't. It means that safe haven demands should be less, so the gold demand should be less. At the same time, we are in great prices, so some investors, they are booking their profit, or the part of their, or they're closing the part of their positions, and moving their cash, moving their cash to the gold. This so still, while that's why, while the stock market is increasing, the gold still have a demand. At the same time, stronger US dollar stronger US dollar also will limit this boost in the gold. So therefore, we have the golds to go nowhere, not up, not down, because this opposite factors they're kind of limiting each other. So therefore, if we have the gold price around 1,800 something around that, a little bit up or a little bit down, but still in these areas. That's about the gold. And about the oil, let's go see what's happening in the oil. Yesterday, we had American Petroleum Institute weekly report, which means that, and this report shows that the U.S. Crude oil inventories increased by 3.09, 3,090,000 barrels, almost 3.1 million, 3,090,000 barrels increased in the last week for the week ended at December 21st, 2025. For the week ended at December 25, US crude oil inventories increased by 3.09 million barrels. A little bit less than 3.23 million barrels expectations, but still it means that decreased by this number. It means that it decreased a little bit less than expectations. So the market was expecting that US crude oil to decrease, to fall 3.23 million barrels, but it fell 3.09 million barrels. And it should be negative for the oil price. But that was actually that's when the price was increasing, that news helped the market to stay a little bit quiet, while because at the same time we have the increasing demand there in the market. Therefore this news the kind of covered each other, so we had a slight movement in the market. Today we are waiting for EIA report. EIA report will be out today with the opening with the US market opening time a little bit 2 hours after that. So, which it means that we have to be a little bit caution today and wait for EIA report, weekly report. However, the market demands since the flies restarted again in many countries, because especially in the US because of the central disease new recommendation. That means that we can see more demand for the oil. About the stock market, after printing new records a little bit ease, we saw in the market, especially if you go to the Nasdaq, you can see this decrease in the Nasdaq a little bit more than the Dow Jones, a little bit more than the Dow Jones, let's see, like a little bit more than the Dow Jones, or a little bit. Oh, even the Dow Jones didn't decrease. I mean, close higher. SP 500 also closed higher, but the Nasdaq closed lower because because the big chips, the Apple, Microsoft, and let me say which stocks. They closed negative. They closed lower than open price. Apple, AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, all of them. Actually, the Amazon a little bit increased. The Facebook was flat, but the others, Apple, AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, and Microsoft, they closed lower and they fell. They felt like Nvidia lost more than 2%, Apple about like 0.6%, AMD is like 0.8%. These decrease in a downtrend in a stock in tech stocks put the stock market a little bit under pressure, and that was the reason that to see the SP 500 and the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq all of them a little bit down after their highs that we saw in the first hours. However, the stock market is totally still, even the Nasdaq, totally we are still moving in a clear uptrend. Today we are waiting for house price. Today we are for home sales for waiting for the new home sales index as well. But generally, the market data, the data that we're getting from U.S. economy is positive. Therefore, we can say that the stock market still will be in a positive mood. Uh, about the cryptocurrency market, in the last days, always the several times, I repeatedly told that the bulls in the cryptocurrencies still it's not confirmed, as long as, especially for the Bitcoin, as long as we are not trading clearly about 51k. Yeah, the price touched 51k, a little bit even higher than the 51k, but we couldn't stay above 51k. I told if we can trade stable about 51k, the bulls are confirmed. Otherwise, while the bears also is not confirmed, still the overall overview right now in the market, still the cryptocurrency market is still under pressure. Why? Because this regulation stuff. But still, the downtrend also is not confirmed because we are trading above the trend line. So this trend line, still we are trading above trend line as long as we are not under 46k. It's like if we push the 46k down, it's like here, 46,400 or a little bit lower even, especially this level 46k. Let's say that 40. I'm talking about the 46k. Let's make it just like a little bit easier to understand. As long as we are above 46k and under 51k, something like here, 51,300, something like here. As long as we are between these levels, we go lower. Any bulls or bears, they need to be above or under these levels. So for now, the market has a side movement between 46k and 51k. Any numbers stable trading above this level or under this level will make the next trend more clear. About the Ripple also, we can say the Ripple, about the Ripple yesterday morning we were talking, when we were talking, it was about 91 cents, and we talked about the downtrend. The Ripple backed under to the downtrend, and as long as it is trading under 90 cents, we can say that the bears have more power than the bulls. And about the Ethereum under 40k is in a clear downtrend, and any bullish trend need to confirm itself above 40, above 4k. Under 4k, everything about Ethereum is a downtrend. Euro USD, we talked about 1.1320, and still we have the, about the Euro USD, we talked about the side movement, and still we have the side movement. But because as long as at the same time that the US dollar is increasing, the euro also is increasing. But the GBP pound is a little bit stronger than other currencies against US dollar, and that was the reason. That was the reason was the better recovery from the coronavirus and their faster economic recovery. About the Japanese yen demand is decreased because of higher, there's more optimistic in the market and a less demand for the safe haven. So the Japanese yen is in sale, and therefore the USD JPY is on an uptrend, and this can even continue its way higher. But as long as it is trading above 114.20, the uptrend in the USD JPY is wildly expected. So this is the overall the market situation, overall the market condition. Hope it was useful for you guys. And let me know please your idea about this videos. If you need any changes, if you want me to cover more about something else, please let me know in the comments. See you guys tomorrow morning. See you guys. Bye.